So once again, this week we've been bogged down with the same rhetoric, with the same theatrics as by the Kenya Kwisha, where they call the media and then they call, I don't know, these ones have come late, and then you get them in a tent and then you're telling them how inefficient they are, that you know more about their ministries. And then still at the same time and in the same breath, you're still there having them sign contracts for 4 years so as to perpetrate their incompetence. And now you are there pretending that you're doing the Lord's work. I mean, when do these meetings' intents end? Shall this regime be defined by the number of meetings they had intents, where you are talking and then you sound like you're making sense, but I'm sure in your head you are making sense, but you're not, because I think you haven't launched any project that you have started from scratch. You haven't even overseen the stalled projects. Like now, Kenya Kwisha were in Mombasa. What they did is they rededicated a naval ship which had been bought by a previous regime. There were many other projects he could have gone to inspect, stalled projects. First of all, the floating bridge, why isn't it operational? The Likoni ferry, there are only 2 when they've been purchased 7, and then we are hearing now Mohammed Ali Jichopevu is talking about purchasing new ferries while there was a floating bridge. And then secondly, there is an ongoing project, Dongokundu Bridge, which has stalled purely out of corruption. And all the other roads, you fly there, so you didn't even get a chance to feel the actual problems that are with the people. So how many more meetings? We are of the opinion that I think President Ruto loves campaigning more than the seat itself, because I think we underestimate the peace that President Kibaki had kept us with. He wasn't perfect, he had his own flaws, but this guy would finish like 3 months without being seen in the media and things were happening. So what's so hard? And then these speeches are becoming, the more you're speaking, the more you have nothing to speak about, because of course you're not launching any project. You're not talking about things that matter to the population. So the more you're speaking, and I can see Deputy President Rigiji, every time he speaks, I understand it's coming from a point of self-preservation, because them and the quartet of Moses Kuria, Dindi Nyoro, Kimani Ichung'wah, they understand that President Ruto is a student of Moi. Now, for you to survive in the Moi regime, if you're from another community, you had to openly, especially now Mount Kenya, because that's where the hostilities were. You had to display unsolicited sycophancy. You had to do stuff like what JJ Kamodo used to do. Baba, every other minute, Baba Moi, things that even Akina Biwot were not doing. Them, they were making billions in business and Akina Saitoti, but there is a particular clique, and there is a particular, can we call it cartel of politicians who have to be subjected through that shaming or shameful kind of tirades occasionally, just to display your loyalty. So they acutely understand that this is the environment, so we have to keep on doing this. Because I was listening to Deputy President Rigiji, he's saying he's never been late to the president. A lot of unnecessary information which we don't really care about. You understand? I wish you were launching a project. And then from this regime, we always know who is calling the shots. So I was talking with some people, KRA, they did a recruitment of new cadets or something. The people who are going to be walking around, they are weaponized there to get tax. They are following the US model. I told you Kenya is a colonial outpost. We are being headed by Western puppets. So they went to Eldoret or something, and then they were many were turned away. You could see them. I think I saw a video of them being turned away with bags after staying there for a whole weekend. And then it gets to Monday, you're told no, you failed. They were being cooked for reasons, health and whatever. And so the people who are giving me this story, but please, if I'm wrong, you feel free to correct me. The lady in charge of the process, I think, was called Nancy Rotich, and then there is a guy called Mugambi who was just following her around like a poodle. So some people went there and said, "Oh, we've been sent from Deputy President Rigiji's office. We have I don't know, our children here, we would like them recruited. Looked that Nancy Rotich just looked at them like this and like, who is that? Like, do I look like I take orders from that office? So we understand the dynamics, and now I was being told that that recruitment was so tribal. They were like probably 60% of people recruited from one community, and even them as Kenyans who were there amongst themselves, they could see. In fact, they were having conversations with people from all communities, and they were talking like, these guys are being crap. Why make you guys travel all the way from I don't know where? Even I was told some chick had come from coast, very beautiful chick, and then she was told, oh, she's pregnant by 2 months. She cannot be appointed. And I'm like, what kind of flimsy excuse is that? So we understand the people who are, can we say, I wouldn't want to say flower girls, but I would say that in as much as, it's a coalition and people brought numbers, at the end of the day, the buck stops with somebody. That's why you're seeing these guys doing crazy stuff. It's all unsolicited displays of sycophancy. Is in a bid to self-preserve themselves and their political careers, because they know this guy is equally ruthless when you don't toe the line. Because he's a student of Moi. That's how it is. So it's unfortunate. I hope we won't see any other tent. I'm not crossing my fingers though. I know. Now on Tuesday they had now Anne Waiguru, and the moment you see Anne Waiguru, you know that's crap. That's rubbish. Yeah, that's cap. Once you see somebody like Anne Waiguru, you know there is nothing happening there, because they are talking about subsidized fertilizer. It has moved from 3,500 to 2,500. Is it a must that you call a battery of journalists to announce that? That's a notification that goes in the media. It says, go to this shop, it's 2.5. And then we also saw the government of Russia had donated 34,000 metric tons of free fertilizer to the government. So it raises more questions than answers. And then finally, you can see what's happening in Niger. I think Niger is going to be the next battleground. It's going to be the next Ukraine, because Africa, I don't know what's happening, why there is all this attention with Africa. So now, of course, Niger, the military took over from the French puppet president who was there, a puppet of the West. And then now, the ECOWAS met the Economic Community of West Africa States. They met over the weekend, and they said they are going to invade that country to restore constitutional order. Quote unquote, we want to restore our fellow puppet of the West. So Nigeria is leading the forefront. In fact, there is a document that has been leaked from the internal Nigerian army records, where they are saying they are going to invade that country from August 23rd. The Prime Minister of Ivory Coast, or rather the government of Ivory Coast, have also pledged to work with that team. Let's listen to, and the irony is Ivory Coast, the current president, came to power through a coup and through revolutions headed and supported by the French. Just listen to the Ivory Coast government spokesman talking.
À la suite de cet examen, le Conseil national de sécurité a fermement condamné cette tentative de coup d'État qui constitue une grave menace à la paix et à la sécurité dans la sous-région. En outre, le président de la République a instruit le Premier ministre chef du gouvernement à l'effet de mettre en œuvre sans délai toutes les sanctions arrêtées par la CEDEAO et l'UEMOA à l'encontre du Niger et des auteurs de la tentative de coup d'État dans ce pays. Par ailleurs, le président de la République a autorisé le chef d'état-major général des armées à se rendre à Abuja, au Nigeria, en vue de prendre part à la réunion des chefs d'état-major des armées des pays de la CEDEAO. L'objectif de cette rencontre, organisée par la commission de la CEDEAO, est d'élaborer un plan d'opération pour une éventuelle intervention militaire de la CEDEAO au Niger, visant à rétablir.
So, and then the Niger representative of the military junta went to Mali and met with Wagner officials requesting a rapid deployment is gonna get done.